What's going on, guys? Rob with 3STRONG here. A couple days ago I posted a video about lower abs, and I explained how the lower abs really are this muscle called the transverse abdominis that helps to stabilize our pelvis and therefore give us that flat tummy, protect our back, give us a more stable core overall. And that's really what we're talking about when we're referring to the lower abs. And I presented a movement that you would do hanging from a pull-up bar, squeezing your butt, and really trying to tuck your hips under and keep your abs nice and tight. Well, not everyone has a pull-up bar, so now we need to come up with options on how to work those same muscles, engage those same muscles, even if we don't have a pull-up bar. The reason why I presented that exercise is because it's actually one of the easier ones, because since your body is in a vertical position, tilting the pelvis becomes a little bit more natural. It's an alternative to just standing and doing that position. So that is one of the ways that you can actually practice it without a pull-up bar, is standing up, squeezing your butt, and then bracing yourself as if you're going to take a punch and just keep everything tight. But here are a couple of exercises to really challenge those muscles even more so. Riley, you gotta move, buddy. You gotta move. Go on, go on. Yep. Okay, so if we're in that vertical position, and even to create more of a challenge, if we're hanging from that bar, and then we try to do that tuck position here, trying to keep everything nice and hollowed out and tight, keeping the butt tight, that's challenging, but still we can make it more difficult. On the ground, this is where things get tricky, because now we've changed the leverage here, okay? When our legs are just hanging down, like I said, the pelvis and the abdominal muscles have an easier time stabilizing. It's a little bit more natural. But once we lie down, you can still kind of mimic that position. Notice how my body starts to arch here. And if I squeeze my butt, notice how this angle changes a little bit here. And I can actually come up slightly and crunch into it. But then what this does is this really starts to engage those, more of the upper region of the abdominals when we really want this lower region to be activated. So we're actually going to bring those hands down to the sides, get your head to rest on the ground, okay? And this little test right here is where we're going to start. So what happens is we're going to tilt the hips back. Think of that bowl as it's spilling back. You're really going to brace yourself, keeping everything tight. And let's bring these legs up to vertical. You've probably seen me do this before in some of my other videos. Well, this is where things become a challenge, because we have to really focus on keeping just the abdominals working. It's really hard to squeeze the butt in this position, but if I do it here and then I try to tuck, notice how this is a very difficult leg raise to get into, and we can easily default into that arched back. Hip flexors are overworking. So start here at the top. Really try to suck in that gut, brace down, try not to crunch. You're going to slowly lower, really squeezing that. You're going to over-engage those abs. Squeeze, gently lower. So you're really going to feel the tension. That's where you want the tension to build, is in those abs. And so instead of, when you're in the hanging position, you are going to do that movement from the bottom up to where, sorry, I'm going to get out of frame here. So you're doing that movement from the bottom up and squeezing those hips. And then as we want more of a challenge, we would raise those legs up higher and higher, starting with a knee tuck and then lifting those legs up when they're straight. When you're on the ground, now it's reversed. The easier position is with the legs vertical. The harder position is where the legs are out straight. Notice how we've changed the leverage here. So you would ultimately be able to really brace and suck in, squeeze tight, really, really tight.
and then you'd raise back up. Remember, like I said, you want to over-exaggerate. You really want to squeeze those muscles nice and tight, and don't let yourself arch and get into that mat position.
If you didn't watch my lower abs explained video while watching this, please go back to that video, and that'll explain a lot. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully that kind of clarifies things for you guys. But it's really just focusing on squeezing everything tight, getting that butt tight, getting the abs tight, bracing yourself, kind of blowing that air out and keeping everything tight. And that's what's going to create that stable core. Okay? Okay.